It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
Tuesday, December the 10th. Good morning. As it is Tuesday, we will have a little bit of fun, and then we will stop that because in about, 50 minutes, we'll have some unfun facts for your Tuesday. We will also have wild hockey tickets to give away at 7:50. We'll have sweet baby James Taylor tickets to give away in just a few minutes later this hour. So that's all the sort of stuff I'm looking forward to. Right now, however, at the top of the show, let's get right to your top 5 at 6. Luigi, no relation to Chuck Mangione, has been charged with the murder of the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Yesterday in Altoona, Pennsylvania, the shooter that the entire world has been trying to figure out who he is, where he is, was picked up at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, because of course he was. He was sitting with a backpack that contained the gun, the silencer, and the fake ID he used in New York City. Mastermind criminal? Not exactly. 26-year-old Luigi Mangione from Baltimore, Maryland, not just a prep school product, a valedictorian of an incredibly exclusive blue blood prep school, a graduate of Penn University, not Penn State. That's a joke for anybody that ever went to either school. Altoona police surrounded him at an Altoona McDonald's and asked him if he'd ever been to New York City or been there recently. He started to shake. The gig was up. He has gone to jail in Pennsylvania for gun charges. He will soon, I would imagine, be extradited to New York for murder charges, as he has been charged. The police chief of Altoona, as well as Pennsylvania Governor Shapiro, discussing this arrest. Word on the street is they were discussing this arrest.
Arm was located, and a suppressor was also
Don't
located.
you hate it when you're fire up the audio, you're all ready to go, and I have got more things not playing here this morning. All right, here we go with Deputy Chief Swope and Governor Shapiro.
It was discovered that he had a United States passport that identified him as Luigi Mangione. A firearm was located, and a suppressor was also located.
I have no tolerance, nor should anyone, for one man using an illegal ghost gun to murder someone because he thinks his opinion matters most. In some dark corners, this killer is being hailed as a hero. He is no hero.
He is, as I said, a graduate of Penn University of Pennsylvania, Penn. He's from a very wealthy, very well-to-do, very well-connected, quite ambitious and powerful family in Baltimore, Maryland. And I mention that for this reason. For the last 5 days, as we've been looking at pictures of this guy, and we've been saying someone surely must know who he is. Oh, there's a whole lot of people in Baltimore who knew. And
Immediately,
and apparently they may have called the police and said, hey, that's our son, that's my nephew, that's my cousin, that's my high school valedictorian. But the name was kept pretty close to the vest, if that's the case. If that name wasn't given to the authorities, then holy smokes, because there's no way that those many people did not see those photos and not know who he was. Luigi Mangione, enjoy your 15 seconds of fame. Not 15 minutes, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's just about up at this point. We will all lose interest as soon as he is behind bars and not in front of cameras.
Behind bars with people that didn't go to prep school.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, they're not rich, snotty kids that hate themselves or their dad or whoever the hell he hates that he took out on Brian Thompson.
Number 4 on your top 5 at 6, Shakopee hitting the big time with a new amphitheater that's going to open next year. Live Nation has announced this 19,000-seat amphitheater will be operated under the Live Nation umbrella. This will become one of Minnesota's largest outdoor music venues. What is this, 1992? A 19,000-seat amphitheater? That is awesome. I sincerely hope it's full on a regular basis. The Minneapolis-based Swervo Development just announcing, obviously the amphitheater has long been in the works, but they have chosen Live Nation to operate. And that's kind of who you want to be, because Live Nation is running the world pretty much these days.
Yeah.
For the most part.
That's too bad.
It is too bad.
We got good friends at Live Nation.
We do.
I'm stoked to see some.
Oh, now
shows.
we got to suck there so we can get a ticket out of them.
We're
That's
not
right.
sucking
Get
at
off your
anything.
knees, Ryder.
Hey, I've got great friends who are Live Nation people, and I am a guy who likes healthy competition. There, I've said my piece.
Sure, that's true. We go to see a lot of shows in the middle of summer at XL or Target Center, and that's great. But it'd be nice to see some of that stuff outside.
That's very true.
Who wouldn't want to be caught in traffic an extra hour coming back from Shakopee? No, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I love a smaller amphitheater.
Dude.
No, I don't know. It's the audio thing. You're all fired up, you're ready to go, and you realize you showed up at the stadium at the wrong day or something. I don't know what the hell happened, but it pissed me off.
Sorry,
All right.
I'll get over it at 10 o'clock.
That's all right. Hey, the cockpit has instruments. We're just going to trust the instruments. I'm sorry.
All
We're
right.
going to visual now. We are no longer landing this plane using instruments. Number 3 on your top 5 at 6. Our good friends in Portugal, researchers in Portugal, that is, have given us the news we needed to hear, which is that drinking coffee every morning of your life can add by almost 2 years to your otherwise healthy lifespan. Assuming you're staying in fairly good shape, coffee's good for you as you age, I should say.
Yeah.
No, this is just fantastic. It reduces the risk of several chronic diseases. That includes cardiovascular issues, cancer, respiratory diseases, as well as cognitive decline.
Yeah, that's why I drink it.
Yeah, that's exactly why I drink it. I'm thinking long term, baby. But it's not even just the caffeine. Coffee contains a ton of what they call bioactive compounds, antioxidant and anti-inflammatory benefits. So get a second cup, would you?
Yeah.
I wish I was only drinking 2 cups of coffee a day. I have a feeling that whole moderation is key thing. I'm going to ignore that last bit of the story.
There you go.
Number 2 on your top 5 and 6. Hey, next time you're on a plane and you hear them say, please put on your airplane mode, you're going to do that like I always do, like we always do, because you don't want to disrupt the plane's navigational systems. At least that's what we've been led to believe. A Delta pilot has broken the cone of silence on the airplane mode and why it's important. Check this out.
The airplane mode button on your phone is not a conspiracy. So if you forget to put your phone on airplane mode, no, it's not the end of the world. The plane will not fall out of the sky, and it won't even mess with the systems on board. However, it does have the potential to mess with the headsets. If you have an aircraft with 70, 80, 150 people on board, and even 3 or 4 people's phones start to try to make a connection to a radio tower for an incoming phone call, it sends out radio waves. There's the potential that those radio waves can interfere with the radio waves of the headset that the pilots are using. It's definitely pretty annoying when you're trying to copy down instructions. So if you're ever curious why you got to put on airplane mode, that's why.
Oh, you sweet, stupid, naive pilot. I hope he's better at flying than he is. I mean, come on. You know what? The only reason people put it in airplane mode, most people, was so that they didn't bring that freaking empty beer can we're all stuck in down to the ground. And now there's always going to be several hoople heads on every flight. We know this. And now they have a chance to prank the cockpit. Yeah, enjoy that.
Man, I remember the good old days before there was such a thing as internet on airplanes. The first time I got on a plane and they said, we have wireless internet, I went, oh, well, then what's the point of travel? The whole point is to go into a submarine for 2 to 12 hours where nobody can find you. And that's never possible anymore. So I like to do the thing where I'm about a minute before landing, and then I turn off airplane mode to just see if I've got any texts or emails. That's my idea now at the age of 59 of cheating the system.
You're an outlaw.
I am an outlaw. Like those people in Lino Lakes, all the outlaws in Lino Lakes. Good morning.
Hey. I like that. I've got a daughter that is in love. We're always road tripping to, what is that, Waldock Farm up there? I know. Yeah, they've got a big nursery up there that she loves. And I got to be honest with you, you roll in there. I could use that this morning. All the flowers and plants makes you feel good. That sounds lovely, Giuseppe. I love the idea of you checking out the plants, going to the nursery, getting that thumb all greened up. It's exciting. Drunk.
Yeah, well.
I was over at Hammerheart Brewery just before that. Actually, I think they moved. Hammerheart's not up in Lino Lakes anymore. A while back, they moved up to Ely, Minnesota, but still distribute that Hammerheart Brewery here. By the way, happy National Lager Day.
Oh,
By the way, euphemism. A green thumb to me is a euphemism for when the bartender says another Guinness and I put my thumb up. Number 1 on your top 5 and 6. Bad news for Anthony Edwards of the Timberwolves. He's been fined another $25,000 from the NBA. This time after a win at Golden State Monday night. He cursed in the press conference. He cursed on the microphone. $25,000 for cussing. Hey, you know what? He cussed out his own team last week and called them all soft. And ever since then, I don't know if anybody noticed, they're playing good basketball. They are starting to put it together. Anthony Edwards was just giving both Naz Reid and Julius Randle some compliments. He was giving them full props for them locking down their defensive efforts. And for that, the league wants to fine him. Well, I say fine, Adam Silver. Fine away. As long as they're winning, hell, I'll put $25 in the kitty.
All right.
I mean, I'm just saying, whatever it takes, man. There's your top 5 and 6. James Taylor is playing the XL Energy Center next summer. Oh, gosh, how about we give away some tickets? Know it or blow it. Watch your dirty mind. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talkin' text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
Like my friends Brian Zepp and Ryder, I was born in the USA, just like Bruce Springsteen. You know? Right over there in Michigan, not too far away on the West Coast, right on the lake, Muskegon. Nice little town. Yeah, that's where I was born.
Very nice.
In case anybody's wondering. You know what? James Taylor was not born in Muskegon, Michigan, or if he was, they're keeping a lid on that information. But he is going to be at the XL Energy Center this summer. And we have got an interesting game. Very quickly, we want to give away a couple tickets. We're going to play Know It or Blow It. This is how it's going to work. We're going to have a caller on the phone. He's waiting to come on. Ryder's going to ask him one question. He's got 5 seconds to answer it. If he doesn't answer it, then we're going to turn to the text line, 651-989-ROCK. And the first person who comes in and texts the word steal, not the first person, a random texter who gets the word steal will be able to claim those tickets. How about
That's
that?
Radical.
Is that making sense?
It makes sense. It's radical. It's a lot to take in here. I think I get it.
It is. So right now, Right now we got Alan from Cottage Grove on the horn. Alan, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
All right, Alan, real quick. Favorite band?
Black Sabbath all day.
All day, all night.
You're going to love James Taylor.
Yeah, you are. Favorite team, any sport?
I'm not crazy about sports, but I'll always root for the home team.
There you go.
Sure.
Root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. All right, here we go, Alan. You know what? I'll go ahead and ask the question. Hell, I'm looking at it right here. Sorry, Ryder. I'm going to take away your thunder.
Yes.
Here's your one question, and you will have 5 seconds to answer. What 1996 Christmas movie set in the Twin Cities features 92 KQRS?
Oh, Jingle All the Way.
Yes.
Just like that. We told you.
No buzzer.
No
Yeah.
buzzer. That was a ding, ding, ding-a-ling.
Yes.
Well done, sir. Alan, you got James Taylor tickets, brother. Have a great time at that show. Wear a Black Sabbath T-shirt just to stand out.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you got it. Right on. Well, that was nice and easy. Easy peasy. And about an hour and a half from right now, we're going to be giving away Minnesota Wild tickets because we're givers. It's what we do. We give.
Till it hurts.
Them. Take from us, please. Take a history lesson. On this day in 1972, NFL history was made. The longest non-scoring pass in league history. Check this out. Jim Hart of the St. Louis Cardinals threw a pass from his own 1 yard line. It was caught by Bobby Moore, who was then tackled on the Rams' 1 yard line. It was a 98-yard reception without points. That is absolutely incredible. Bobby Moore, by the way, rookie receiver for the Cardinals, changed his name the next year to anybody?
Ahmad Rashad.
There you go. Ahmad Rashad in the history books, a 98-yard reception without a touchdown. I'm sorry, that's just hilarious to me.
I remember Jim Hart, Dan Dierdorf, those St. Louis Cardinals, lovable losers.
That they were. On this day in 2002, for the first and only time in their respective careers, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen played against each other in an NBA game. Jordan was on comeback tour number 2. He was with the Washington Wizards. Pippen was playing for the Portland Trail Blazers. It was a blowout win. Pippen got 14 points. 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Jordan also with 14 points, but neither was thrilled afterwards. Jordan said, quote, "It was a sad, sad game we played. The most unfortunate thing is we can't take our paychecks and give them to the fans." I'm sorry that they had to pay to see that.
Yeah.
Wow. Scottie Pippen, for his, after the game said, "Did you guys see that? I was as good as Mike. I swear, we beat him. I beat Mike. No, really. I swear to God, I beat him. Did you see it?" On this day in 2012, the 78th Heisman Trophy Award went to Johnny Manziel. I cannot believe it's 12 years ago. Quarterback from Texas A&M, first freshman to ever win the award, which nobody saw coming. And then shortly thereafter, the safest bet ever to crash and burn as a starting quarterback in the NFL, which everybody saw coming. Everybody except for the Cleveland Browns, of course.
Yeah, did you see his birthday tweet? I'm not even kidding around. He tweeted or X'd or whatever the hell he did. A shot of him in the tub looking very homeless, hasn't shaved in months, with his girlfriend in the tub together. Yeah, they look like they were at a Motel 6. No disrespect to Motel 6. Got me through a divorce, but I'm just saying. It's it's a low point.
Let me tell you something about Motel 6. They take dogs, no questions. So
Amen. Love you, Motel 6.
You got that, right? Come on.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show on Minnesota's Classic Rock, 92 KQRS.
I just had to get all the way to the end of that one. Jimi Hendrix on the KQ Morning Show, Voodoo Child. The answer to the question, hey, if I don't have any drugs, what's a good song to listen to?
I mean, my God, I was going through my little briefcase bag here looking for my bong. I'm like, there's got to at least be a roach in here, for God's sake.
I'm sure it was cool to watch them track that song, but the mixing session was really where the action happened. They're just like, this is really going to mess people up. Holy crap, we're sending sounds everywhere. Oh, it is Tuesday, December the 10th. I enjoy me some Jimi Hendrix. Call me crazy, but you know what? For right now, though, we got to put the fun on ice because it is time for Unfun Facts.
Oh, I was just trying to get my facts straight. Unfun.
Unfun.
Not fun.
Not fun. Not fun.
It's entirely unfun.
The KQ Morning Show presents
Unfun
Facts. Let's begin, shall we? Shall we?
Oh, you're damn straight we shall. It's Tuesday. Here's a little unfun fact for you. It's going to sound like, well, yeah, duh, but still it gives us something to think about, even though it won't be that surprising. The most common day of the week for workplace murders is, yes, Monday. And statistically speaking, it'll be a Monday in September.
Really?
Yeah,
why September?
Just looking at all the workplace murders that happen, when they happen, and by whom, et cetera, et cetera. Mondays in September is your best chance. So we've all got now, the better part of a year to make sure that we have all the Mondays in September off next year.
I mean, this is a strong argument for working remotely, isn't it?
It really is.
I think it's a strong argument for a 4-day work week. Let's just start on Tuesday.
You know,
all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
You know what?
I'll kill you on Tuesday.
Everyone always assumes the 4-day work week is we cut off Friday, but yeah, maybe we should cut Monday.
Yeah.
Just imagine how much more fun Sunday Night Football would be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
I like how you're thinking there, Ryder. Here's an unfun fact. A gentleman by the name of Charles Osborne in 1922. He had a case of hiccups and he pretty quickly realized, boy, these aren't going away. I mean, within like an hour, he's like, God, everything I've tried, it's just not really working. And he didn't stop hiccuping. Again, 1922, he finally stopped in 1990.
What?
68 years.
Please kill me.
You're right.
68 years of nonstop hiccuping.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you go to such drastic? I would eat an entire frickin' jar of peanut butter. I would choke myself. What else can you do? I remember my buddy Chet one time decided to get rid of them. He had them all day. We were hunting. A guy hiccuping while you're hunting. You're like, hey, Chet, pipe down, man. This isn't bird hunting. He's over there. And guzzled a half a bottle of whiskey and barfed his guts out, but he didn't hiccup anymore. Did you guys ever hear the weatherman down in Houston? That guy down there couldn't stop hiccuping. I think I got the audio right here.
Yeah, inside the Beltway for the moment you're dry, but you get outside the Beltway, really it's Highway 6 all the way out to Katy, and it is just a mess out there. Katy's had most of the rain so far. Lightning and thunder, has just moved off to the west. Highway 6 where it meets I-10 on the west side, Addicts. I have the hiccups, of course. This would happen right when we have heavy weather, but bear with me. What I'm concerned about is that we may see some backbuilding, some redevelopment of thunderstorms right in here. Bel Air to Meyerland to Sunnyside. Here's the big picture. We've all had the hiccups before, right?
Charles Osborne would have given his left foot for that case of hiccups because Charles, for 68 years, hiccuped 40 times a minute.
That's a lot.
40 times a minute for 68 years. Here it is. One day, you're just a guy on a hog farm. You're weighing a hog for the slaughter. And suddenly you're holding a hog in your arms or a little, whatever. Or you're putting it on the scale, I should say.
That's how you do it.
And then all of a sudden, bang, hiccups begin. From 1922 to 1990. I just can't even imagine. I mean, that is a propeller plane to the moon landing and then some. I mean, all the things that happened, and he's going 40 times a minute like that. Yeah. And by the way, to your point, Zepp, I learned a long time ago, if you are hiccuping and you're tired of it, just puke. Always resets the diaphragm.
All right.
By the way, in his later years, he did slow down to 20 hiccups a minute. And check this out. He stopped hiccuping in 1990, as I said, and had 1 year left of his life. He had 1 year of hiccup-free living after 68 years. That was a good year for Charles Osborne.
Yeah, it was. Well, he'd never sneak up on you, would he?
No, not a chance. Imagine that being your dad. Now, listen, this is an important lesson. And you're just like, sure. Okay, you can't even stop hiccuping. Here's an unfun fact for you. About 100 people in the U.S. every year choke to death on pens.
What?
No.
Pens.
Pens?
Pens. Yeah.
The pens?
Just pens. People are just like, I don't know, maybe you're just like, I wonder if I can touch my uvula with this. And then before you can explain what you were doing, you've choked to death.
Apologize to anyone who's lost a loved one like that, but I'm just saying that's culling the herd. The person that chokes to death on a frickin' pen, yeah. I mean, it makes the gene pool just a hair stronger.
Until 1920, this is an unfun event. One of the Olympic events that was very, very popular was live pigeon shooting.
What's the unfun part?
Just that's a good question.
Loud
actually.
Noise? Yeah,
I guess
you didn't have your ear protection on. That would, shotguns are loud.
I just love the idea of that. The Paris Olympics, you're right in the middle of the City of Lights, and it's just like, you're just watching guys shoot pigeons.
You know how many pigeons are in that damn Eiffel Tower? It should be a daily event.
Sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu.
Speaking of birds dying, over 10,000 birds a year die in the United States from smashing into windows.
Oh.
The least of their concerns, because now that we've figured out how to attach GoPros to cats, we know where all the birds are going. Man, do those cats just love to take down a bird, huh?
Yeah, that was a big thing when they built U.S. Bank Stadium. They had flocks of geese and ducks just pile driving right into
serious?
The big glass.
Oh,
it's glass on both sides. They wanted it to shine through without letting the cold air in, and you just massacred a bunch of birds. Also, those the windmills out there they find just decimate bird populations.
Yeah, birds aren't the smartest among us. I'll say that much.
No, we had one go through the window out at the farm. It had bang right in the window.
We had a big bay window in a house when I was a kid, and several times a year, you'd just be sitting there and thump, and it would hit, and then there's a robin or a blue jay or something, and as a child, I would be sad, but of course, I kept that to myself. Didn't want to get the look from my dad for being a softie. Hans Steiniger, his life and death, kind of unfun. Fun at first, and then decidedly unfun. Fun because he had the world's longest beard. His beard was almost 5 feet long.
What the
Unfun because there was a fire in his home. He was rushing to escape the fire. He tripped on his own beard, rolled down the stairs, breaking his neck and killing him.
Oh.
I mean,
That's not good.
no, that's not good at all.
I mean,
Kinda
if you told me about the guy who tripped over his beard and died, I would have imagined a woman next to him and, him having a secret life. This is not that. This is a literal beard. This is a legitimate 5 feet long beard coming off his face that he tripped on, and because of it killed him. That's a boy. You know what? That's why they make like ponytails and all sorts of things. You just kind of bind it up when you're not using it. You know what I mean?
It's
just
too
for
much
safety.
beard. Yeah, exactly. It must have been like a fuse on a bomb. When it caught fire, you could just see it burning towards his face.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Bummer.
Here's a fun fact. A lot of bird action today. Woodpeckers, if they go too long without food, they will pin down other birds, including other woodpeckers, and they will peck at their heads until they get in to eat their brain. They will just peck right through your skull if you are another bird and eat your brain. They don't want to, but if they can't find any other food and you find yourself as a bird, look out for the woodpeckers.
I mean, we'd do the same thing, I guess, if we were hungry enough.
Sure, especially if you're up in the Andes. You got on your way to a rugby tournament.
Yeah.
These things will happen. And finally, carrot juice is good for you. A lot of vitamin A. However, you can drink too much carrot juice. And in fact, you can drink so much carrot juice it'll kill you. It's happened. Your brain can swell. Now, granted, the amount of carrot juice you need to drink in order to swell your brain is in the number of gallons, but there are people who've done that because I guess they were just trying to prove something. My point is this: a carrot juice, a glass every few days, sure, go for it. But otherwise, watch out. And don't kid yourself. You'll get that little orange tint all over your skin if you drink a lot of carrot juice.
That's what I hear. Yeah, not a thing I'm worried about. Not a big carrot guy myself, but yeah, I hear it turns you orange.
I love a carrot when it's in a good beef stew, like a nice Irish beef stew, chunk of carrot in there, sure, all day long. Carrot on its own, Bugs Bunny style, no thanks.
No.
Done it, but don't love it. There's your Unfun Facts for the day. Here's something fun. We want to say hey to our listeners over in West St. Paul. West St. Paul, home of the West St. Paul St. Paul's.
Yes. Yeah. West Side, baby.
Yeah, the West Side's what it's all about. We're all sitting here holding up W signs, like, throwing out the W.
I can never remember which one has the Mexican restaurants and which one just has all the, I don't know.
It's not for us to know. It's not for us to know, but we have friends up listening in West St. Paul, and to them we say, come on, get on it. Ba-boom, have a great Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
We all, on occasion, find ourselves on planes, and we always hear them say, put your phone in airplane mode. We've got the final word on why you should, and it's not what you think. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line, 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
Next time you're on a plane and you're sitting there and you got your seatbelt on and you're already annoyed at the guy next to you or the woman next to you, and you hear the pilot come on and say, or the flight attendant usually comes on and says, if you have a phone, you need to put it in airplane mode now. Like most people, you'll probably do it, and then you'll think, I'm doing my part to keep this flight safe. Because the word on the street has always been, the word on the street was always, you don't want that cell signal interfering with the plane's navigational system, do you?
Right.
And so for that reason alone, we've all assumed anybody we see with their plane not in airplane mode, with their phone not in airplane mode, that person's clearly trying to kill us all.
Yeah.
A Delta pilot was asked about that whole thing, and he is cutting right to the quick. Here's the real story from an actual pilot.
The airplane mode button on your phone is not a conspiracy. So if you forget to put your phone on airplane mode, no, it's not the end of the world. The plane will not fall out of the sky, and it won't even mess with the systems on board. However, it does have the potential to mess with the headsets. If you have an aircraft with 70, 80, 150 people on board. And even 3 or 4 people's phones start to try to make a connection to a radio tower for an incoming phone call, it sends out radio waves. There's the potential that those radio waves can interfere with the radio waves of the headset that the pilots are using. It's definitely pretty annoying when you're trying to copy down.
All right, thank you.
I prefer to think that we all have our own lives in our own hands. I'd rather think there's a little more drama myself.
We have talked about this in the past without this know-it-all pilot letting it out of the bag. There's no way they would let a couple of hundred strangers get on anything that had the power to bring it down. Of course. I would guess at least a third of the third of every flight you're on, they don't shut it off. The last flight I was on, just forgot. I didn't get on and check my phone. Yep. I was very tired, got in my seat, and then boom, I was out. And then I got to where I was going. We landed. I pulled my phone out to take it off airplane mode to reconnect with the rest of the world. Oops, I never shut it off. So, yeah, we've kind of known this, haven't we? But now we know we can prank the pilot. So, for sure, people won't be taking it off airplane mode.
I'm relieved to know that you didn't land in Topeka or something unexpected. Like, what the hell am I doing here? Oh, my God, airplane mode.
Yeah, we had to bring her down in Topeka.
We ended up in Kansas because the navigational systems all went awry. A lot of crazy things happen, especially this time of year with so many more people flying. There's just such an added jolt of... There's adrenaline and there's excitement and there's anticipation because people are traveling home for the holidays. But then the dark side of that is the second anything starts to go wrong, then frustration and annoyance and short tempers, short fuses, all of it can explode. You have the good and the bad commingling regularly on holiday travel. And in fact, in Atlanta, Georgia, a Delta flight was sitting on the tarmac, delayed, or sitting at the gate, fully boarded, already an hour late, waiting to depart. And then they were given more bad news. The replacement flight crew was still not even in the airport. They're stuck in traffic. So you got a plane full of people that have already been on this plane with the door shut for over an hour, and then they're being told the flight crew's still in traffic. It's at least another hour. And the flight attendants who were already on board are like, man, you could feel it. There was tension rising in the air. And I want to get your thoughts on this, Zepp and Ryder. If this is, picture yourself on this plane, you're an hour into the wait, you know you got at least another hour, and you start to feel tension, and other people are starting to get a little whiny and complainy, and then you see a passenger stand up. And he goes to the overhead compartment, and he pulls out what looks to be a musical instrument.
No.
And he opens up to reveal a tenor saxophone.
Oh, my God. The worst of all the musical instruments.
And before you know it, he's walking up and down the aisles playing Christmas carols. So before I get your thoughts, we do have a little bit of the audio.
Missed a note. Missed another one.
Look, I like music.
Yeah.
I like Christmas. I like music. I like Christmas. I like traveling. And I'm not saying this to be funny or trying to be like Mr. Scrooge. No, that's my answer. Sir, sit down and put your seatbelt on and stare at the seat in front of you like the rest of us. All those smartphones that are still not on airplane mode because we're still at the gate, you can put on a movie, you can listen to music, go through your photos, there's a million things you can do with the privacy of your own headsets.
Yeah.
Walking up and down the aisle, blaring a saxophone, jingle bells. I'm not for it at all.
I know he just thinks he's being precious and he's trying to help, but remember, the wise sage George Carlin's words: if you think you have a solution, you're part of the problem. Don't lay that on everyone. There were a couple of people singing along, and at some point even I was like, oh, all right, that's not so bad. At least he didn't go on and on, or just really wail on that thing. Like saxophones, man, they carry a sound. I love me a saxophone,
Can you
put one in the Silver Bullet Band? Love it.
Sure. Yeah, you're right. No, can you imagine if he had said, I've always Really love giant steps. Who likes Coltrane? I mean,
yeah, right.
Go in here.
20 minutes later.
I will say this. There's probably something wrong with me in that if I'm in that situation and I'm imagining it, I'm on that plane. I get the longer we're sitting there and the longer that I have no control over anything, I truly do get relaxed. I'm like, great. I can't be blamed for anything right now. There's nothing that's going to happen in the world that someone will expect me to fix or handle or really even respond to. I'm on a plane. I'm delayed. You guys take care of yourselves. And that's not an indictment of my family at all. It's every part of my life. I like feeling like, sorry, I'm tapping out. Can't do it. I'm here. Yeah. I don't know what, it does make me think of, you mentioned the George Carlin line. Tom Waits had a great line, not about a saxophone, but his line was, a gentleman is someone who owns an accordion but doesn't play it. And this is what I'm thinking of. You got a bunch of people locked in. I'm amazed at how many people just started singing along with them, though. It's like, hey, let's do it. No,
that time of the year.
Not.
Yeah, you try that crap in January. Yeah, someone's going to take it from you and beat you with it. Duct tape, please. Where's the duct tape?
Yes.
When the Gorman family, when the four of us are traveling, it is funny because anything they throw at me, I just gear down more. Like, sorry, from the flight deck, folks, we're going to have to circle for 6 hours. I will literally go like, okay, cool. And my daughter, Marley, same way. We can just completely unplug every part of our brain on a plane. Rosemary and Connell, they're just wound up like tops. Like, oh my God, I got to get off this plane. I got to get out of here. So there's two of us that just completely roll with the airline punches that would be like rolling our eyes at this saxophone. And there's two of us who would be trying to kill that saxophone player if he pulled that thing out. I'm a big fan. If it were up to me, all airlines would be everything's checked. No carry-ons. Nothing. If you can't fit it in your pocket, there's no overhead bin. We all have more headroom. There's more. Yeah. Maybe they have shelves for snacks up there. Make better use of it. Get in, sit down, get up, get off. Much quicker service. That's why I don't run an airline, though. See,
I wish you did.
Yes.
I think I have a solution. Therefore, I'm clearly part of the problem.
My favorite is the people that try to roll their roller bag. You get to the front door, you pick it up, you hold it in front of you, and you walk down the aisle. You don't put a backpack on and then turn left and right and bang people in the head. And you don't try and roll the bag down the aisle because it doesn't roll straight. You keep hitting seats, and you're right behind this person or they're hitting your seat. It's very simple, but I like you. Yeah, I just keep it more orderly. Yeah.
No, my travel pet peeve is the backpack is insane. You put it in front of you, whatever you're carrying, put it in front and carry it. The other one though is, and this has been driving me crazy since I saw this the first time I ever flew was on a Piedmont Airlines flight in the 80s.
I never even heard of that.
Piedmont, yeah, an old. I'm sure they were assumed American or Delta or Eastern. Somebody bought them back in the day. Piedmont Air. I'm on a flight going to join my girlfriend and her family at the beach, flying to Philadelphia, and I'm like 20 years old. I've never been on a plane, and I am jacked. I'm like, oh my God, finally, man, this is the big time. And this is, by the way, obviously a coach ticket, still a full meal service with real knives and forks. None of that plastic nonsense. Not a box with a meal, a plate. Yeah. It was so different, But in the 80s, they were still thinking like, yeah, let's just give everybody a steak. Sure. Yeah. Let's do that. Everybody gets steak or pasta. What do you want? And so I'm sitting on this plane, and I am so excited to be on this bad boy. And I've completely forgot the point. The steak threw me off. What were we saying?
How about some steak and eggs? Doesn't that sound good right about now?
This was my first flight, and this is what annoyed me, and it's bugged me ever since. And this speaks to the fact that I'm an asshole at the end of the day. I'm in row, let's say 22. Uh-huh. And I'm watching every person entering the plane, and this is back when you're holding a ticket in your hand, and every passenger takes one step and then looks at their ticket and then looks up to see if they're at their aisle yet. 2 more steps, stop, Look at the ticket. Look at the aisle number. Stop. And I'm like, they just go in ascending order.
Yeah.
You know what's
1,
after
2,
7?
3,
8.
4, 5.
And then you know what's next? 9. And you're in 27, and you're stopping in the teens every aisle.
Yeah.
What? I've never been on a plane, and I've already got this figured out. Let's go, people.
I mean, or the person on the A, B, C, D, E, F there on your left seats.
That's
no.
tough.
I'm an A. I'm in the aisle.
Yeah.
No. You're an A. You're right next to the window. No. And they'll look at that seat and go A, B, C over to the window. And you're like, what you dyslexic mother? Get in. Flight attendant. We'll need some duct tape.
And then you look at them and you go, right there next to where it says the aisle number, there's that little drawing and it shows the ABC, and that wall represents the window next to A. And then I think to myself, thank God we're not putting together something from IKEA with this person.
Yeah, right?
Hey, Minnesota Wild playing some pretty good hockey this season thus far, and we have got some wild tickets. Not just tickets, but tickets in the KQRS suite. And that suite is sweet. Make no mistake about it. How's your spelling? How's your NHL spelling? Very, very different than the average spelling bee. NHL Spelling Bee for Wild Sweet tickets. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show on Minnesota's Classic Rock, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Good Tuesday morning. It is December the 10th. I don't know what's on your mind, but I'm thinking about hockey, baby. I'm thinking about the Ottawa Senators coming to town December 29th to play the Minnesota Wild at the XL Energy Center. And we, because we're cool, have got tickets to the KQ Suite that we would love to give away. Gonna need a couple of callers. 651-989-ROCK is the number. The KQ Talk and Text line, 651-989-ROCK. Give us a shout. Get on board. We are playing a game today. It's a tough one. Hockey fans, get ready, okay? I mean, if you're not a hockey fan, you might want to sit this one out. That's all I'm saying. We got some hockey intel we're going to need from you. So again, 651-989-ROCK is the number. Call in. Callers 9 and 2 will compete for sweet tickets in the KQ Suite December 29th. Boy, there are worse ways to spend a December 29th. You're right in between Christmas and New Year's. You're looking for something to do. Yeah, you're going to enjoy yourself at the hockey game. And you're probably already enjoying yourself today if, in fact, you're up in North Minneapolis. How about that? Good morning, North Minneapolis.
North side Minneapolis.
Yeah, man. You don't hear about the north side enough. I mean, just culturally speaking, short stories, songs, movies, it's always about, I'm more on the south side. You always hear about the south side. No. North Minneapolis. We're giving you a little bit of love right now.
Yeah, the House of Jerk.
I'm sorry?
Have you guys been over there, House of Jerk? No?
I thought you were talking
It's a massage parlor. No, it's not.
I thought you were talking about when you were over at my place. I was like, dude. Sure. Yeah, the shrimp was old and turned, but we're not jerks. It was an honest mistake.
No, it's a little soul food place over there. I had some, I forget what I had, pork ribs. But what I remember is the potato salad.
Oh, very nice. But if you remember the potato salad, that says a lot about either the potato salad or the other stuff on the menu.
Well, I mean, the pork ribs were good too, but the potato salad must have been like a homemade kind of deal. Very tasty. But I think it's only a summer business because it was it wasn't a food truck. It was like a food stand, I guess.
Got it.
Taylor and I found along the way, and I said, House of Jerk, got to stop.
Got to try it. Fair enough. All right. Well, North Minneapolis, we love you, baby. But you know what else we love is giving away hockey tickets. We got a couple callers locked in and loaded. What's that buzzing sound? Oh, it's the Spelling Bee, the NHL Spelling Bee. Good God. You know where this is going. Could be going sideways really quickly. Ryder, are we set with our callers? I believe we are.
Let's go.
All right. We got Lance from St. Paul as contestant number 1. Lance, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're great, brother. Lance, give me your favorite band.
My favorite band, Led Zeppelin.
Big fan myself. Give me your favorite team, any sport.
The Minnesota Wild.
The Wild. Good answer, brother. All right, well, December 29th, they will be playing the Ottawa Senators. for 2 tickets. We're going to play NHL Spelling Bee. I'm going to give you 4, I should say, NHL players. You need to spell their last name correctly. Are you up for the challenge?
I am hoping I'm up for the challenge.
I certainly hope so, too. All right, let's get right to it. Lance, your first player, Brock Faber.
No.
Brock Faber.
Just his last name or both first and last?
I think just the last name's plenty.
Yeah.
Faber.
Oh,
Yeah, warming up here.
knowledge is good, speaking of Faber.
Right? Faber College, yeah.
Faber College, yeah. Emil Faber, inventor of the number 2 lead pencil, apparently. All right, well done, Lance. Number 2, Sid the Kid, Sidney Crosby.
Crosby is Crosby.
Bang. All right.
I feel like we're setting them up here.
Yeah, we're trying. All right, Lance, 2 for 2. Very well played. Not Mick Jagger, but Jaromir Jagr. Jagr, however you want to say it.
Jagger is Jager.
All right. Yeah, this guy knows hockey.
No, sir.
Wait a second. That's right. I forgot a letter in there.
No,
I'm playing along.
There's no E. Jagr.
Jagr.
That's all right. All right. You're 2 for 3, which around here most games is just great work. So
he's missing an E and a front tooth, as I recall.
That was it. All right, last one, Lance. Buck up, buddy. Nino Niederreiter.
Niederreiter. Oh boy. Niedereiter.
Elemental P.
Yeah, I mean, you had all the right letters, but they weren't in the right order. Niederreiter.
I before E, except after C, right?
That's it. And the double R in the middle is really unfair. What a
He's from Switzerland, isn't he? Yeah.
I'm not sure, but. All right, no, listen, 2 for 4. That's pretty solid. Those are not easy ones. So, Lance, very well played. Sit tight for a second. We're going to move on to contestant number 2. We've got also calling in from St. Paul is Chad. Chad, good morning.
Good morning.
Chad, give me your favorite band.
Metallica.
That'll work. Give me your favorite team, any sport.
The Wild.
Like it. I like it a lot. All right, you see what we're doing here. NHL Spelling Bee. I'm going to give you 4 names. You spell the last name. If you get them all correct, if you get 3 out of 4 or better, you win the tickets, brother. Are you ready?
Okay, let's give it a shot.
All right, number 1, Matt Boldy.
Boldy.
All right. Use it as a sentence. No, I'm just kidding.
You got that one.
Scores!
Very good. All right, number 2, Connor Bedard.
Ooh.
Bedard. Bedard.
Attaboy.
Yes, sir. All right, number 3, the great one himself, Wayne Gretzky.
Ooh.
Gretzky.
Man's rolling.
Yeah. My man has looked at the back of a jersey in his day. All right, Chad, this is for the clean sweep. Andre Vasilevsky.
Oh, my God. Vasilofsky.
Oh, Vasilefev. Excuse me.
Oh,
Sorry.
man. No chance on that
I'm
one.
looking at it and I'm getting it wrong. Vasilevskiy.
Yeah, he threw the IY in there at the end of the ski. What are you doing there?
No, that's totally intentional and darn near jerk territory. Speaking of your house of jerk. That's 3 for 4, however. Chad, which means you've got the tickets, brother. Lance, 2 for 4. Greatly appreciate your efforts today. Better luck next time. Chad, enjoy the game. December 29th at the XL Energy Center. Those tickets, of course, provided to you via us from the Minnesota Wild. Cheers, brother.
Love it. Thank you, guys. KQ rocks.
You got it. Thank you very much for that.
Taking on that new Utah Hockey Club. Couldn't come up with a freaking mascot, so they just went with Utah Hockey Club. It used to be the Arizona Coyotes, Of course, we didn't really come up with one either. We just went, wild! Yes, hockey's back and wild.
Yeah.
So that's wild. What is that?
Is Utah Hockey Club permanent, or is that just until they get something better?
I think it's till they get something better. They couldn't decide right away out there in Utah. So that's what I heard. So they're going with Utah Hockey Club this year. But I think they may end up sticking with it. They're not very creative people out in Utah.
Now, UHC, the acronym, that does remind me of the story we talked about earlier, the guy who hiccuped for 68 years.
Yeah.
UHC spells...
That's how you spell it. I didn't know. There it is.
That's how I spell it. That's what I'm going to be thinking about every time I see them take to the ice. Just a bunch of hiccups out there on skates.
Yeah.
Bunch of drunk hockey players. Hey, ever done anything at work where you think back to it either the next day or that night or 5 minutes later and think, I probably should have been fired for that? That probably should have earned me my walking papers. If you have, we'd love to hear about it. 651-989-ROCK on the KQ Talking text line. What was the job and what was the thing that should have gotten your ass canned? Let's discuss. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talking text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
We've all had a lot of jobs, and by all of us, I mean all of us. Everybody looks back over your life and you go, I had that, I had that, I had that, I had that. And when I start adding up the number of times that I did something that probably should have had my ass bounced right out of there, it's kind of astounding. I've messed up either intentionally or unintentionally at every job I've had countless times. The best record I have is this, since I came to KQ.
Yeah.
No fireable offenses that I'm aware of.
Oh, man.
Maybe
we
I'm
gotta
in
work
denial.
harder.
Maybe I'm in That's exactly right.
We should at least fear it every once in a while. Like, oh, man, that's gonna get me fired, man.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah, right.
I know 2 occasions, Steve, that you've dropped F-bombs.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
Can you get fired for that anymore? There's only one way to find out. Ready? All 3 of us. 3, 2.
It's only a fireable offense if Ryder's arm does not immediately shoot over a button on my behalf.
Sometimes you have to know your value by pushing that line. This may surprise you guys because I'm a little older and more mellow, but I used to have quite a temper.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I know. It's you're thinking, who? Brian Zeppert?
What happened?
What are you talking about? I smell a lot of
where did that go?
Daily mantras, meditation, just a balanced diet, one a day. But in radio, there's a couple of times. I remember coming back from a live broadcast. I was an hour late for the live broadcast, and I was doing the show with a bunch of other folks, and I decided, I can't just walk in because everybody's going to be mad at me. So I walked in naked. And that was, and I thought, this one. Yeah, I thought that's the end of that. But I did not get fired. I was just told not to be late anymore. And if I would at least put a robe on. But the other time was that I was doing a trivia contest and I was up on a stage and I ended up leaping off the stage into a table full of guys for a big melee. Little brawl, little fist of fury action there. They took me into the bathroom. I came out to the Rocky theme. I thought that was a nice touch by the house DJ, but did not get fired for that one. Steve, what did you almost get fired for?
The list goes on. The first one I remember, I actually confessed to something, and my boss looked at me like I was crazy for thinking it was a problem. Just on a whole different matter. I was the doorman at a club when I was 21 years old, and there was a Grateful Dead cover band playing, and there was a $3 cover, right? And so,
yeah.
And most of the people in the bar are college kids. And as the doorman, I would card every dude, and I waved every girl right in. Like, no girl ever handed me a fake ID because I never asked. Every guy, every dude, I was like, that's fake. No, it's not. I'm like, it looks fake to me. I had no idea what was fake and what was. I'm just a jerk. And I hated all the frat guys. And so, I would give them grief. But one night at the door of this Grateful Dead cover band's performance, it's a $3 cover, and a woman in probably at that time in her 40s, 40s, she comes in with what looks like her son and his friends. Like a woman with 4 young college boys.
All right.
And she's very attractive. And 4 guys who I would have absolutely given a hard time to if they weren't with Suzanne Summers, who looks what she looked like to me.
Yeah.
And she just walked up and she's like, "Hi, how much is it?" And I said 15 because there's 5 of them. And she took that to mean 15 each. And she did not blink. She opened her wallet and she pulled out. She goes, "So that's 75." Pulled out a $100 bill and said, "Here, just keep it." And they walked in.
I want to be in her party.
Yeah, and so I had an $85 tip, which she thought was a $25 tip. And either way, and I'm standing there looking at it, and right then, the owner of the bar, Jeff, walks up and goes, "Hey, what's going on?" And but I don't know why I thought I should tell him. And I said, "Hey, this woman actually just gave me," and I thought, actually, I know what I thought. I thought, you know what? He probably showed up right away because he saw and heard that, and he's going to bust me. That's what I was thinking. So, it wasn't the goodness of my heart. I was covering my ass. I go, "Jeff, I said 15. She thought it was 15 each, so she thought it was 75. She gave me 100 and just said, keep it." And I said, "So I should probably go get the change and give her back her $85. And he literally just stared at me and goes, "What is wrong with you?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, you're right. Cool." And I was like, "All right, cool, boss."
Did you think you met the ethical bar manager?
I guess
one
I did. Yeah,
that lived?
I was new in
the
town.
Unicorn?
All I can say is I was new in town. Fell off the back of the turnip truck and ended up in a big city. It won't surprise you that night was spent at a late night Chinese with a drink called the Volcano, with 4 of us all sipping giant straws out of a flaming middle of a bowl of liquor.
What could go wrong?
Nothing. $85 at a time when that was $9 million to me.
Oh yeah.
But I also, there's. By the way, if you have a job you should have been fired from, something you want to share, feel free to go to the KQRS Facebook page. We've got a lot of posts already. The KQ Talk and Text line 651-989-ROCK. Text or call if you've got one. I worked as a college student. I worked at the university bookstore. In the student center, you got the bookstore. That's where everybody goes to buy their textbooks, but also just anything, pens, paper. It's a store with everything. And I had various jobs there for a few years, but I was working in the bag check area right outside the doors. Was like a caged, if they don't let you bring in backpacks because they don't want you to steal stuff and put it in your backpack. So I'm the guy that would hand you half of a playing card. Here, you're the 4 of diamonds, and then I would keep the other half. That's how they matched the bags. Like that was the number system.
Clever college kids.
Pretty cool. College kids, we're all cool. And sometimes somebody would come up and hand me a backpack, and that guy might be, I don't know, either my brother Dave or my brother Doug, also students at the university. And then they would look at me and go, they would hand me the bag, and then they would say something to the effect of, History 401, European after the colonial revolution. They would give me a textbook name.
Yeah.
And I'd go, yep. And then I'd just walk into the store when I didn't have anybody to worry about their bags. And then I might pick that book up off the shelf. And then I might take it back to my little cage where I pretended to read it. And then it would fall into their backpack.
Whoopsie, Butterfingers.
Backpack back. It was crazy. Yeah, just blind thievery. And,
thievery are those damn books. Let's be honest with you. You buy them for about $150 and sell them back to them for about $10.
Well,
who's the thief? Yeah.
Well, one day at work, absolutely one of the most scariest moments of my life. The boss comes in and he takes me and 2 other guys that work there, and he goes, "Hey, come into my office, the 3 of you." And we sit in his office, and he says, "Anybody got something you want to tell me?" And I'm like, "Oh my God!" He goes, "Guys, listen, I'm like you. I was a student here. I used to work at this bookstore. I know what it's like, and I know, it's really tempting, but I'm just going to ask if any of you has something you can confess to me right now. It's going to be so much better for you. Please come clean if you have something to come clean about." And I'm like, oh my God. And I've a couple times I've gotten some books for my brother and a buddy. And I'm
Don't blink.
And I'm thinking, I'm just going to ride the storm out and see what happens. And the 2 guys next to me, we're all stone-faced. And he says, "Okay." And he goes, "Steve, Mike, you can go." And we get up and leave the office. And we open his door, and who's waiting on the other side but campus police?
Holy
They step in.
God almighty.
They step in, and they put handcuffs on our coworker and walk him out, the perp walk, because he had been stealing textbooks.
Oh, the same thing? Oh.
Yeah. He wasn't sticking them in. I think he was doing it some other way. He wasn't doing it at bag check like I was. So that means I'm a smart criminal and he's a dumb one, I guess. But this kid, honestly, he was arrested, expelled from school. I talk about getting scared straight right there in the moment. I was like, oh, Nelly.
And the manager's a liar, was just on a fishing trip because the campus cop was already called. He was already standing there.
Yep.
If he had confessed it, I doubt that manager would have let him go. He already had the cop standing outside the door. But, you didn't blink, man. You passed the test.
Passed the test. I failed the test and then passed the test.
Well, I mean, yes, right. If you're looking at the big picture.
On the Facebook page, Tim posted one. Buried the wrong person in the wrong grave. and then he said, I fixed it though. No worries.
Oh man. I mean, you just gotta. Okay, that's phenomenal. I don't know where to go from that. I'm looking at one here from a nurse, Jackie. Dropped a side of sour cream on a patient's bald head. That's nice, but I mean, you didn't. I mean, yeah, exactly. Rub it in there. We were talking about Coach Fleck might end up with some mayo on his head here on January 3rd with the Gopher football team. But yeah, no, body, wrong grave. I mean, at the end of the day, does it real? But yes,
you could probably
get that right.
Cover for it, but it's important to get cross the T's and dot the I's.
Sure.
Also on the Facebook page, Wade. I told a joke that Brian Zepp told on KQ about a fat woman and a moped. There was a big woman that worked there, but I didn't see her in the room. Oops.
Oh, yeah, you got to check the room, man. I never do, and I've told a couple of jokes, there was one I still to this day, and it's anticlimactic because I'm not going to obviously tell the frickin' joke, but I thought that was it for me. I thought, okay, that's the one that crossed the line clearly, and no one ever said a word. Not a word was said. Yeah, I don't think anyone was listening that day.
I like this is a great one. A text. I worked in a hardware store in a rich part of town. The wealthy customers would walk in and hand us their list, expecting us to do their shopping.
No.
We would, but that's a neighborhood I've never been to.
Yeah.
We would, and the name of the game was to see how much other random stuff we could add to their cart. Yes. I like that. Congratulations on your new 20-inch chainsaw chain and diamond reciprocating saw blade, along with that bird seed. That's great.
It's funny because they're rich people.
That is funny because they're rich people. We used to do this just as not as employees, but we'd be at the grocery store when we were little kids. And early on, this is what happens when you have 5 older brothers. You learn how to be a real nuisance young. And the whole trick was you're going down the grocery store and we're filling the cart with all the cereal and chips and crackers and crap. But then you'd see a cart going the other direction and try to just drop something in their cart. I don't know if that woman knew she was buying saltines today, but I got them in there when she wasn't looking. We would totally load up other people's carts. That was just that was just good, clean fun.
Yeah, you catch them before they check out. That's no harm, no foul.
Okay, here's one. Doing cocaine off my desk during prep periods to stay awake after drinking/pulling all-nighters during my first year of teaching middle school.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. That, you know what? I can look back immediately and realize, I had a couple teachers that were clearly high. I just thought they were crazy.
Yeah, teachers are crazy. By the way, I mean, can I butt in here with the naked teacher arrested over Thanksgiving? Did you hear about this?
Yeah, please.
Teacher decided to crash at the school over Thanksgiving, and someone saw a light on at the school, an elementary school that shouldn't have been on, so they called the police. The deputy comes up and looks in the window. Here's the audio.
Male saw a deputy, quickly got dressed and exited the school. Deputy tried to apprehend him, and at that point, the now clothed, formerly nude male committed battery on that deputy. There was nobody inside the school at the time. As to the vulgarity, I think I just don't even want to get into his mind and think about what he was thinking.
Yeah, sex toys. Lots of sex toys.
Sure.
They were scattered all over the teacher's desk. Did get fired for that one, however. Yeah, that's way over the line.
You have no idea the things you can do with a globe. 651-989-ROCK is the KQ Talking text line. I believe we have Carrie on the phone. Carrie, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Good morning, Carrie. Give me your favorite band.
Oh, favorite band, the Eagles.
Give me your favorite team, any sport.
The Packers.
Oh.
It's okay. We still love you.
Yep.
Still waiting for that Eagles combo. All right, Carrie, what have you got for us?
Back in the 1960s, my father-in-law, he was an excavator, and he was hired to tear down a building in St. Paul. And there were two buildings that were identical across the street from each other. And he was given the wrong address, and he tore the wrong one down.
Well, he was given the wrong address, to be fair. The person that gave him the wrong address, that's the ass on the line. Yeah.
Yeah, so luckily the same guy owned both buildings, and he understood, and he's like, well, I plan on probably taking the other one down anyway.
That's about as good as it gets right there. Yeah, there's burning the guy's hamburger, and then there's tearing down the wrong building. Very different. Very different thing. That's awesome. Woo. Thanks for the call, Carrie.
Yep, have a good day.
This is another good one on the KQ Facebook page from Chris. I was the boss's weed guy, so I gave him some pretty good deals, which kept me, quote, safe. But if the higher-ups found out, I'd have been out. Kept it up for a good 10 years. Yeah, you did.
Yeah. If you're the boss's weed guy, you're good. As long as the weed is good, you're good.
That's right. You are golden, is what that is. I had a lot of food service jobs over the years. Made a lot of pizzas in my day, and there were some corners being cut, and then there was also some payback. A rude customer. I'll never understand somebody walking into a pizza joint at midnight and bitching about anything.
It's food. You got to eat it.
You're asking a half-drunk 22-year-old musician to give you food, and you're yelling at them while ordering it? What do you just stick your tongue into a mousetrap? Why don't you? It's not going to end well for you. You're not going to get the pizza, but there'll be an extra thing or two on there. I'm just telling you.
Nasty.
These things happen. That's part of the plan. By the way, the other thing, and I didn't get fired for this, but I got yelled at. Back at the college bookstore, for some reason, the bookstore is where, well, not for some reason, but the bookstore is where you would go pick up your cap and gown for graduation. Mm-hmm. So the graduating, seniors would come in. And this is at Western Kentucky University. So you'd walk into the bookstore. My two brothers, Dave and Doug, they graduated at the same time because Dave took a break for a while and took a year and a half off. As it turns out, they're going to graduate together in the arena, big college graduation. They come into the bookstore to get their caps and gowns, and they left with those cords that you put around your neck that mean summa cum laude, because their brother said, "Take these, don't tell anybody." And so when the way they would do the graduation, they didn't call out by name all of the graduates. It's too many people, but they would say, The College of Arts and Sciences, for those students graduating with a 4.0 or better, the cream of the crop, the guy said, summa cum laude, stand and be acknowledged. and 38 people stand up, and two of them one's 6'5" and the other's 6'6", and they're right next to each other. And there's just polite applause. And then you hear from around the arena various people go, "Oh, come on!" Like anybody that knew either Doug or Dave Gorman was like, "What the hell is that?" And so in all their graduation photos, they've got the ribbon. It's like a big rope thing that you wrap around your neck like you're some sort of PhD or something. That was good stuff.
Put it on your resume while you're at it,
But the problem was, as I said, these guys are both really tall. And again, my bookstore manager, Tom, had been at graduation, and he goes, "Hey, so your brothers had some great careers here, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, they did really well." He goes, "You mean the brother who flunked out, took 2 years off, and came back to finish? He's summa cum laude?" I was like, "Look, man, I don't know how." He goes, just let me tell you something right now. I don't ever want to see that again. He was yelling at me. I was like, "Oh, crap, I can't believe I got busted." These things happen. But you know what? Every job you have is a chance to learn who you really are at the end of the day.
It really is. Here's Kevin on the KQ Facebook page. One more reason you should have been fired, but we're not. By the way, favorite band for Kevin, Boston. Favorite team, the Wild. He posted that. Delivering pizza for a fundraiser at an elementary school in Belle Plaine. Backed my truck up to the assigned door. Didn't see the exposed gas pipes and took out a gas line. Had to evacuate the school of about 100 kids. Called in the boys in blue, the fire trucks, the gas company. After 4 hours of digging while the gas was shooting out of the pipe, they were able to shut off the main air pipe. Not fired, though.
No.
And, a little extra pizza left over, I bet.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you can't. It's hard to get
That's
good
a good
help.
one.
You know what I mean? I mean, most of those pizzas were delivered without threat of gas death. You got to go with the odds. You got to go with the numbers. It's all about percentages. You can find the KQ Morning Show podcast anywhere you get podcasts, and you can listen anytime you want. Sponsored by the very safe proprietors at Devani's Pizza and Hot Hoagies. No gas leaks there. Trust me. Get to a Devani's, get yourself a pizza, get yourself a hot hoagie, and if you have any questions, they will be answered at first bite. Thank you for Devani's. The top 5 at 9 coming up. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show on Minnesota's Classic Rock, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show for Tuesday, December the 10th. Heart Barracuda, or as I've always called it since 1978, the last song of the first concert I ever saw. By God, you can do a lot worse than Heart in 1978 for your first gig. That set me on a collision course with destiny. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. Let's get right to your top 5 and 9 for a Tuesday morning. Number 5, the story that has captivated the world for almost a week. That, of course, the shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The gunman has been caught. Luigi Mangione, don't call him Chuck, from Baltimore, Maryland, was arrested yesterday in Altoona, Pennsylvania at a McDonald's. Now, word on the street is the New York City PD, who'd been investigating this murder, had no clue who this kid was. They still didn't have a name. They still didn't have anybody calling in to say that they think they knew who he was. And they also didn't even have the right kind of gun. As it turned out, it was not a 9mm. It was a gun that he printed with a 3D printer, at home. Like a, what do they call them? It's a gun you just made himself.
A ghost gun.
Thank you. A ghost gun that uses the same bullets. So if this kid had put anywhere near the thought into staying hidden that he put into pulling this off, he would have had a nice long life on the lam, I think.
Ditch the gun with the Monopoly money or whatever, dude. Drop it in a he had an orgy of evidence on him when they arrested him, or did they search his home? Now, I don't remember exactly, but he had all of that stuff with him. By the way, those 3D printed guns, while it was a 9mm, it wasn't. So here's the thing with it. Did you notice he kept cocking it? It's a semi-automatic, which means it reloads a shell each time you pull the trigger. Semi-automatic. But he kept having to unjam it, and I'm guessing that's because it was one of these manufactured ghost gun kind of deals, and it wasn't, up to snuff, and he had to keep unjamming it. But, and then kept everything very amateur, which was not the impression that I think most of us got immediately following this thing.
Luigi Mangione is 26. He's from Baltimore, graduated from the University of Pennsylvania. That's Ivy League. He was a valedictorian of his high school private school. The guy is, by all accounts, book smart, if you will. Family and friends now coming forward with some statements. This is in no way a justification for what he did. There was apparently a back surgery last year or earlier this year that was, quote, catastrophic for him. And then now his family's saying all they know is what they've read in the media. His mom has been calling friends for a month saying, where is he? They hadn't heard from him. Yeah. He went off the grid. They were worried. I got to think a little bit more is going to come out from them having a sense maybe he was going a little dark.
I kind of crashed that whole Robin Hood scenario that a lot of people were going with, that, perhaps there's, was a family member that had been denied coverage. And this is a very rich kid from a very rich family.
It very much is that. And it's certainly not the other narrative was that looks like a professional hit. Anything but. Number 4 on your top 5 at 9, 3% of Americans, only 3% will admit to being a bad driver. But about 20% of us say the other people are all terrible. I will admit, I'll say this. I'm a good driver for me. Yeah. I'm not always the best driver for the other people on the road. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I'm going to quote George Carlin again this morning, and I always feel good about that. And I'm actually going to paraphrase George Carlin, but he, in an old bit, he would talk about everyone going slow is an idiot, and everyone going faster than you is crazy. Would you look at this idiot just plodding along? Look at that crazy son of a just flew past me. So, we all think we're the right driver. Everyone else is the hoople head behind the wheel.
Sometimes I'm amazed that all the other drivers on the road don't see that 4D chess game like I do. To this day, my wife will she'll wait a little while, but she'll go, babe, you don't know what they're all thinking. And I will say, yes, I do. Because I can't just admit I'm an impatient jerk. But anyway, but my daughter will tell you she didn't get her driver's license till she was 18, well into 18. And because when I asked her approaching her 16th birthday, hey, are we going to go get your permit? And she looked at me and said, I think we both know there's no reason to put me behind the wheel of a car. And
self-aware.
Like, boy, you can go real far in life with that level of self-awareness. Bless her heart. Number 3 on your top 5 at 9. Researchers in Portugal have concluded, based on a whole lot of studying they've been doing for years, as the global population is aging rapidly, coffee can do a lot to keep you alive. A new scientific review suggests regular coffee consumption could extend your otherwise healthy lifespan by up to 2 years. A lot of great things for your long-term health from coffee. How about that?
I don't need the extra years, but it does prevent me from murdering other people. You get so hooked on it because I have my cup of coffee every morning. Every morning I know I make it on my Keurig. I go with the 10 ounce, 10 ounces a day. That's all I drink, but I like it strong. If it's got the strong setting, I got to go with the strong setting. But if I miss it for one day, you think I'm an insufferable son of a bitch with a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
You catch me without a cup of coffee sometime. I quarantine myself. I'm so
safety. Bad with my coffee addiction that if I don't have coffee, I'm just the same guy but with a migraine. Because I don't feel the impact of coffee. I only feel it when I don't have it. Like I'm still sitting here in the mornings like, I just cannot get the brain to wake up. And I'm, on cup number 4. But if you take it away, then I'm just absolutely sideways. No question about it. I went cold turkey. In 2013. I just said, you know what, screw it. I read a thing and it said if you are suffering from heartburn, which I was a lot. I was on the road all year and I was going into what I called the heartburn years. And I said, you know who it was? Of all people, I read an interview with Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. and he said, and he loves wine. And the interviewer said, well, doesn't wine give you heartburn at night? He said, no. That's what people say. He said, if you eliminate coffee, most of your heartburn will go away. Even if you only drink it in the morning. If you get coffee out of your life, you can eat and drink whatever you want at dinner, and you'll be fine. And I trusted Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. But guess what? Kind of turned out to be true. My heartburn was greatly reduced. And I also, about a month after no caffeine, you are sleeping like a baby. It's astonishing how well you sleep. It was so great for me that I started drinking coffee again about 3 or 4 months later.
I drove right? I mean, right? Yeah, that's we want it. We got to have it. It's it's a proper vice. I received a bag of those dark chocolate-covered coffee beans. Those addictive little sons of bitches. And drove them over to a friend's house, walked up to his door, rang the doorbell, handed them to him, and left because I couldn't quit eating those damn things in the afternoon and evening.
I don't know anybody over the age of 30 that can't blame Frank Sinatra for a lot of the booze they've consumed in their life. And now he makes me want to drink even more coffee.
Yeah, you go to bed with a martini and wake up with some coffee, yeah.
Oh, God bless him. Number 2 on your top 5 at 9. Check this out. 2031. That will be the end of the International Space Station. The space station will come back to Earth in 2031. Very dramatically, there are plans NASA has for what they're calling a controlled death dive.
Oh man,
Nice.
Which I used to watch from Acapulco on Wide World of Sports every Saturday.
Oh, those crazy son of a...
The cliff divers.
Right.
Holy smokes.
Oh my God.
No, check this out. The ISS will have a controlled death dive in 2031 into the South Pacific Ocean.
Wow.
It will burn up during re-entry. What's left of it will smash into the ocean. But then there will be a release, of course, of harmful chemicals as it burns up and re-enters. And so you've got people going, you can't do that. You're going to mess with the atmosphere. It's like, you know what? We can probably allow for one International Space Station to explode upon re-entry.
Just one.
Yeah, just one. We're not going to do it again anytime soon.
So we've got till 2031 to get those astronauts off that space station. Are they still rotting up there, for God's sake?
Yeah, February. They're there till February.
Oh, it's got to be getting tense. Got to be getting tense.
How about this? How about the fact that NASA is planning for this thing to dive specifically into an exact coordinate in 2031, and I still pull out of the KQ parking lot most days and go, wait, which way am I going at the... Yeah, here. Man, those guys got it figured out over there.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning to our friends in Savage, or I always love to say Savage because that's just how I roll. But Savage, Minnesota, happy to have you with us this morning.
Yeah, I love Savage. All I know about Savage, it's down there sandwiched, I think, between Prior Lake and Burnsville in that Shakopee area. But I know the corner of Highway 13 and 42 because they got a bunch of shops there. And that's where the girls and I would always kind of meet over there. Whiskey Inferno, the meat house and craft bar. Oh, yeah, the Zepp girls and myself have... taken up a corner of the bar there once or twice.
Very nice. Good morning, Savage. Number one in your top 5 at 9. The Timberwolves are playing some pretty good basketball as of late, in large part because Anthony Edwards gave the team a profane laced assessment in a press conference a couple weeks ago where he talked about how soft they all were, himself included. Since then, they've been on a tear. And I guess Anthony Edwards, after the league fined him for cussing up a storm, said, well, let's just keep that going then. It seems to be working. Another $25,000 fine has been issued to Anthony Edwards, again, for cursing during a media interview. But he was giving credit to his teammates, both Julius Randle and Naz Reid. He was talking about how great they were playing on defense. I don't care about the fact that he's cussing. I think it's hilarious that he said, Naz and Julius, man, they're blank playing defense. You know, I've never seen Julius play defense before, so this is effing incredible. That is the greatest line of the year. I mean, oh my God, I've never even seen him play defense. I couldn't believe it. That is outstanding. The team is starting to gel. All my concerns are being pushed to the side as they're starting to look like the Timberwolves again.
I have not been to Minnesota in probably 20 years.
Bring your ass.
Hey,
that's right. Oh man, he's already got a few all-time keepers right there. Anthony Edwards does.
He's a special superstar, isn't he? I mean, really lucky to have him in Minnesota. When you get the Randy Mosses, and these kind of athletes that not only bring an A-level game, a superstar level game, but a hell of a lot of personality and entertainment.
It's the best. There's your top 5 at 9 for Tuesday, December the 10th.
Get the KQ Morning Show podcast wherever you listen. 92 KQRS.